solution. Okay, so like we have all agreed, this is our triple column or three column cash book format. We now have a question. Please make sure you don't miss the discount allowed and discount received. The discount allowed is at the debit side and discount received is at the credit side, right? So this is the question. Let's set up the solution. Okay, I want to believe all of us can see my screen. Let me copy this one, and then I would make some changes in the columns. Okay, so we need to put in the discount allowed and discount received columns appropriately. So discount allowed, then on the credit side, we put the discount received. So please, we are going to take it slow so that you would understand. And then you try your hands on the second question just beneath it. Okay. So feel free to ask me any question as we move on. So there we have our three column cash book format. Let's check the question if they gave us the name of the business here. So the name of the business Equia, and then you need to put in your title. So Equia, then we are preparing the cash book. Like I indicated to you the last time, you don't need to tell us this is the three column cash book or whatever. Just put the title cash book and you are good to go. Prof. Frank, are you with us? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So please, let's appreciate how you record the opening balance as we are given in this question, okay? We're given some opening balances, so we need to record that opening balance. And it's very simple in recording opening balances. We all know cash has a debit balance, right? So this opening balance will be recorded at the debit side. Bank also has a debit balance. However, there are instances where bank would have a credit balance. And let's note that here. Note, bank can assume a credit balance. And if bank assumes a credit balance, it becomes a liability. It becomes a liability. And that liability is called bank overdraft. Please take note of this. Bank overdraft. Now, what is bank overdraft? Bank overdraft is a credit facility given to current account holders. So let me write it down. You can take notes. Bank overdraft is a credit facility given to a current account holder, allowing him or her to withdraw more than what he or she has in his or her bank account. So when we say a bank overdraft, okay, it is a credit facility. It is given to current account holders. When you go to the bank and you want to open an account, there are types of accounts you can open. You can open a fixed deposit. The ones you are familiar with, I'm sure, is the savings account. We also have the current account, okay? I think you get some of these things in business management or whatever. So for the current account, if you hold this account, you can do deposits anytime, you can do withdrawal as many as you can. Unlike savings account, there are sometimes restrictions if you want to withdraw a certain amount. You even have to give notice to the bank before you can withdraw a certain amount. But for current account, you can withdraw in a day, you can withdraw a million times, nobody cares. So normally they are given this kind of facility where they allow them to withdraw more than what they have in their bank account. The rationale is that this is an account that is very active. On daily basis, monies are being deposited or credited to this account. So the bank is very much confident that the account holder can pay if they should give him or her a form of a loan. So it's a form of a loan, if I should put it, a form of a loan. A bank overdraft is a form of a short-term loan. I think if you ask your parents who are public servants, they can tell you. There are some of the workers, they go to the bank earlier before their salaries are paid to take a bank overdraft. Okay, because at that point they need money, and salary, for instance, will be paid around, let's say, 28th, and then around 20th, you need money. You can go to your bank if you have that arrangement with them. You withdraw, even though you don't have money in your account, and then when your salary is paid, they set it off. So that's a bank overdraft. So your bank can have a credit balance. Please pay attention. And I'm saying it is called a bank overdraft. And bank overdraft is a liability, specifically a current liability. Don't ever forget this. Now the question is, can cash also assume a credit balance? Mr. Ebenezer Omo, I'm telling you as your financial accounting facilitator that cash can never and will never have a credit balance. Simply because you can't spend more than what you have in your hand as physical cash. If you have 20 cedis physical cash in your hand, you can't say you are going to spend 21 cedis. It's not possible. Doesn't make realistic sense. So cash can never be negative, or it can never have a credit balance. But bank, on the other hand, can. And I've explained to you that the reason is because of this bank overdraft. Okay. So if you are given any opening balance and you see bank overdraft, then you know where to put it, because bank overdraft is a liability and has a credit balance. But in this case, we are given our normal cash and bank balances. So we go 1st April 2016. The details will be balance brought down. So you put under cash. Please, I hope you can see my screen. Oh. Yes. Okay, good. So under cash, we put 100,000. And then under bank, 120,000. So that's how you record your opening balances, right? Use your balance brought down. The question used balance BF. So, well, if you want to stick with the question, use your balance BF. So based on what I just said, if you see bank overdraft, then that one would have been at the credit side, because bank overdraft is a liability and has a credit balance. Okay, we are done with the opening balance. We'll go to second. We drew 80,000 cash from the bank for business use or office use. So there's a contra. So what do? We are going to debit cash and credit bank. We withdrew cash from bank. So we are going to debit cash, 2nd April 2016. Bank with contra, 80,000. And then on that same date, we credit cash, bank, in the name of cash contra, 80,000. Okay. So that is for this second transaction. On the 4th, the following customers paid Equia by check. So we receive money from customers, right? But it is subject to 10% cash discount. And we said this is a discount allowed because discount allowed is given to customers or debtors. So we are receiving money. So at the debit side, 4th April 2016. Okay. So you are receiving money from the first person is Rufi or Rafi. Okay, 36,000. Please, this is where you have to pay attention. We are being told that they were allowed a 10% discount. So you have to work off the discount first. So 36,000 subject to 10%. So we multiply by 10%. And I think that is going to give us 3,600 as the discount. So you see, you put that discount under the discount allowed. After that, the money was checked, right? So we go under bank and we are going to put the net figure. When I say the net figure, it means you are going to less the discount from the gross amount you receive. So in the case of Rafi, we received 36,000. Discount is 3,600. When you less it, let's see how much you get. 36,000 minus, oh, you my professors, you are making me suffer to do. I'm using my head to do mental. 36,000 minus 3,600, that's 32,400. So the net figure is what you put under the bank or cash, depending on which media. And in this case, we're given the check, which is bank. So we go to Sule on that same date. Sule's case, 17,000. So times 10%, that'll be 1,700. We'll less that from the gross figure, 17,000. And we'll get 15,300. And then finally, from Mama. So the figure is 10,000 times 10%. That'll give us a discount allowed of 1,000. So the net figure will be 9,000. So this is how you record your discount allowed. And I believe it's very simple. So we don't have to stress ourselves. But I'll regardless pause for questions on this one. If not, let me make the final point on it. When you are working on your 3-column card, you see discount. Work out this discount and put it under the discount column, and then put the net figure at either the bank or cash, depending on what the transaction is about. So in this case, we received from these debtors, we gave them 10% discount. So we are going to multiply the amount by 10% to know the discount. And when we are done, we'll less the discount from the gross figure to get the net figure. Good. Let's move on. 5th, paid rent, 30,000 by check. So we are paying. So we go under the payment side. 5th April 2016. We paid rent by check. So that'll go under bank, 30,000. Then the next is we paid insurance again on the 6th. So insurance. We paid insurance. Now there is no qualification as to whether it is cash or bank, and the ideal is cash, 17,300. If the question doesn't tell you check or bank, it means it is cash, right? Okay. Prof. Frank, it seems you are having some network issues, but please hold on. Don't vanish. The girls, give him some support so that, or the ladies, I should say, the ladies, give him some support. Okay, so the next transaction was on the 7th. We paid, or Equia paid the following creditors by check, deducting 15% cash discount in all cases. Okay, so this one is discount received because creditors are involved and we paid. So we go to the credit side, 7th April 2016. We paid the following. The first person is Babani or Babin or whatever you may want to say. 15% discount. So let's calculate the discount. Professors, please help me now. My brain is tired. So 15% on 19,000, how much would we get?
$2,850.
Okay, that's great. So after that, you less this from the 19,000 to know the net figure. And I think that will be 16,150. And it will go under the bank column. Okay. The next person is Lola. So in Lola's case too, we have to find the discount. 15,400 times 15%. Yes, my calculate the professor who is in charge. 2,310. Great. Then we less to know. Okay. We less to know the net figure. I think that will be 13,090. Please, is somebody drawing my attention to something? Yeah, Prof. Frank. Prof. Frank, go ahead. Were you saying something? Dear professors, can you hear me? Prof. Alexia, Prof. Sandra, and Prof. Frank. Can I move on? Okay, so professors, I think my network just took me off, but I'm back now. So let's continue. So I'll go back to the point where we're recording the discount for the creditors, right? I hope you can hear me now.
Yes, sir.
Great. Okay, so we were on the I think Lola's case where we're told 15%. So we multiply and on the 15,400, we get our discount. We less it from the gross figure and we arrive at this as the net figure. So the last creditor is Odola. In her case too, we have 12,000 as the gross figure. So we multiply by 15%. And what are we going to get, dear professors?
Her net figure is 1,000. Then her discount is 1,800.
Okay.
Then after subtracting it, 10,200 Ghana cedis.
Okay. Thank you very much, Prof. Frank. The ladies, did you have the same figure or you have something different?
It's all the same figure.
Okay. So let me put them in 1,800 discount received and the net figure of 10,200. Awesome. Great. So you see that recording the discount is not a headache after all. The next date, 7th, Richie lent the business 50,000 cash. So Richie has given us a loan, right? We are receiving a loan from Richie. So this is what we do. We debit our cash book on the date, which is on the 9th. Now be very careful. If you put the name of Richie here, it will mean that you are receiving money from Richie, but that money is loan. So always make sure you use the right details or description. So it is loan. And then if you want to qualify for us to know who gave you the loan, you add his name, Richie. So loan, 50,000 cash. So we put it under 50,000 cash. Great. The next transaction was a cash sales. So we are selling to receive money. So we are going to debit our cash book with sales under cash. That is 31,000. Next transaction, paid daddy his account of 21,000 by cash, less a cash discount of 3,000. So we made payment to somebody, but there was a discount. So we come to the payment side on the 11th of April 2016. We paid daddy. There was a discount of 3,000. So let's acknowledge the 3,000. And then we have to less it from the gross figure 21,000. So we would have a net figure of 18,000 under cash. Okay. Now, please, sometimes you also have to be watchful. There are some of the questions, they'll give you the net figure straight away, but there will be a certain line making you aware of that. For example, paid daddy, 21,000 after deducting discount of 3,000. So the word after should tell you that the 21,000 will be the net figure. So sometimes watch out so that you don't miss any important detail. On the 13th, paid wages. So on the credit side, 13th April 2016, we paid wages and salaries by cash, 43,000. Let me add and salaries. Okay. Next, cash sales paid directly into bank. So you see, there's another transaction that if you are not careful would be bugging you up. Cash sales paid directly into bank. So you have to look at the net effect. We have sold goods and we have deposited it into bank. That's a simple thing you can think about. So anytime you see a contra-like transaction, but there's something in the picture. So in this contra transaction, for instance, there was sales in the picture. The one we saw earlier had Michael in the picture. Then be very careful to look at the final analysis and destination so that you don't worry yourself. So we sold goods and we have paid it into the bank. That's what it means. So on the 14th of April 2016, we will show a receipt of 24,900 into our bank account as a result of sales. That's all. 24,900. That's all. Okay. Next, bought furniture by check. So we are making payment 15th April 2016. Furniture by check. So 33,400 under bank. Next, cash purchases. So we are purchasing, so we'll definitely pay money. Purchases under cash, 19,300. Then we have bought motor van by check. Another payment, 20th April 2016. We bought motor van by check, 41,000. The next 22nd, paid the following creditors by cash subject to 5% discount. Okay, so we need to acknowledge some discount here. We pay the following: Remy, Bala, and finally Popula. Wow, Popula or Popula. So we need to calculate the discount for Remy. So 10,000 times 5%. Yes, my calculator professors. How much are we getting for Remy? 5%. I think that should be 500 at least. This one, I can do it.
500.
Yeah. So the net figure will be 9,500 under cash since the transaction was in cash. Then we have for Bala 15,000. 5% on 15,000. I think that should be 750. So what will be the net figure? Yeah, great. 750. At least your teacher, I'm not bad at all. My mentor is a bit okay. So we have 14,250 as the net. Then finally, the 16,000. That should be 800, right? Okay. So please confirm my figures for me. And then we'll move on to the last one, which is paid electricity bill by check. So that's on the 28th. We paid electricity by check. So that'll go on the bank, 16,000. And that is all. You are done. So what is left is for you to balance your cash book. Balance your cash book. Let me make it the screen full so that we can have a bigger. So let's look at how you balance the 3-column cash book. Okay. So like we did for the 2-column, you need to balance it column by column. So let's pick the cash columns first. I think we'll be needing some calculating here. So Prof. Alexia, please calculate the cash column for debit and credit so that you give us the values. Prof. Sandra, do that of the bank, and then Prof. Frank, you are going to do that for discount allowed and discount received. Okay. So if you are done with it, you tell me the figures, I put them down, and then we'll move on. We should be doing that very fast because we have less than 10 minutes to end this session.
Exactly for the debit side of the for the cash column, 261,000.
161,000. Okay.
Yes,
And then the credits. The
so
credits.
261.
Okay, 261,000. Great.
That's what it's about.
So for the discount allowed,
Mm-hmm.
the total is 6,300 Cs.
Okay.
And then the discount received is 12,010 cedis.
Okay. Thank you, Prof. Frank.
Sir,
Yes.
please, the debit side bank,
Okay.
I got 201,600.
Okay.
And at the credit side, I had 239,840.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and please, for the credit side of the cash plan, I got 133,550.
550. Okay, great. So we have the totals. Let's balance each of them. So let's pick the cash first. For the cash, the debit side is more than the credit side. So our balance carried down is going to be at the credit side. So let's find the difference between 261 261,000 minus 133,550. You are going to get 127,450 as the balance carried down for cash. Great. Let's do that for bank. So for bank, you would realize that the credit side is more than the debit side. Regardless, let's find the difference. 239,840 minus 201,600. You get 38,240. So for the bank, the balance carried down will be at this side. So you go there and put it there, 38,240. Balance carried down. And remember to put the closing date, 30th April 2016. 30th April 2016. So you see that in this question, the bank is having a credit balance, but the cash is having its normal debit balance. And I just spoke to you about the bank assuming a credit balance, and it is called a bank overdraft. So if you are working on the Cashbook and you get a credit balance for the bank, you don't have to be scared. You should get scared when you get a credit balance for cash, because cash cannot have a credit balance. So now that we put in the carry downs, we can balance off. Now, please listen. For the discount allowed and discount received, you don't put any carry down brought down. So let me finish it up and I'll tell you what you do with your discount allowed and discount received columns. So we have our carry downs inside. Let's draw the total for the cash and bank. So the total for cash will be 261,000. That of bank is 239,840. So we repeat same on the 261 and 239,840. Okay. Great. So these are totals. Please make sure to underline your totals, very, very important. Okay. And on that same total, please listen, on that same total, you put your discount, the total discount received to 12,010. And then you do the same side at the discount allowed. We had 6,300. Okay, underline that one. So for the discount columns, you only put the total there. You don't do any carry down, brought down. So just total it and put it there, and you are done with it for the discount allowed and discount received. Okay. Now, after that, you need to bring down your carry downs at the opposite side. So this carry down for cash will come to this side on the 1st of, from April, we go to May 2016, balance brought down, and the cash 127,450. Then for bank, we have to bring it to the opposite side, which is the credit side. So 1st May 2016, balance brought down for bank. So you go under bank, 38,240. and you are done with your 3-column cash book, or you are done with this illustration or question. So let me quickly review. Always make sure to calculate the discount and less them from the gross figure to get the net figure to put under the bank or cash columns. When you are done and you are doing the balance in place, get the totals, get your carry downs. And like I said, cash will never have a credit balance. Cash would always have a debit balance, okay? But your bank can have a credit balance, and that is your bank overdraft, which is a current liability. For your discount column, just sum them up and put them under the total, and that is all. So dear ladies and gentlemen, this is your 3-column cash book. Any questions? If there is, let me pick it in the next minute. If not, we'll look at the second illustration in the last session. I think I'll discuss with you, and then I'll leave you to go and solve it as an assignment. So any questions? I don't think so. My professors don't want me to answer questions. So let's join the last session and then finish today's class in a grand style.